What's going on, y'all? I was just sitting. I was just sitting here and thinking about about all kind of stuff, really, about this modern dating era and how men and women see each other in the whole grand scheme of things. And before I say what I say, I'm going to say, give a disclaimer. Like people are going, some people might, I might offend some people. I might lose some of the few subscribers that I have. I might lose some of them for what I say and how I say it, but it's really how I feel. What I wanted to talk about, how men and women are judged as far as like their value. Um, yeah, I like their value. This is gonna be extremely short, so at least I intend it to be, at least. So, as a man, um, for the most part, as men, we're not really given anything. We're not given any handouts, no assistance. Nobody really cares about us men because, well, we're men. We got to just figure it out for ourselves. You know, if you're lucky enough to be in a family that, you know, is more financially, capable, you may get some financial assistance from them. But I'm just talking about in general, like the world and even your own family at times. As a man, for the most part, you're kind of just left to fend for yourself. You know, I'll sit out here for a second. I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm pretty blazed right now. I had tried some bud earlier, man. This shit's strong, and the fact that I don't really smoke that much anymore. When I do smoke, it's like way more intense. So, um, yeah, I'm a little bit, kind of little blaze basically. But anyway, it's not what the video is about. Video was basically, like I said, it's about. I was just sitting here thinking about how the value of men and women is seen in a completely different way. Because, like I was saying, we as men, we we don't get any assistance, we don't get any help, we don't get any sympathy. It's just like you got to figure it out for yourself. Women, on the other hand, they it's different for them. It's different, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm not saying women don't struggle like we do, but it's almost as if the world is more sympathetic to women. Men are more sympathetic to women than women are to men. It's ironic because women don't really give a damn about, where about any of a man's struggles. They don't care why he's struggling. They don't care if he's been trying. They don't care if he's been putting the effort in. He just hasn't figured it out yet. All they really care about is where he's actually at in life right now. They don't care about why he's there. They don't care about if he's been doing all the right things. They don't care about if he's been working hard. They don't care. All they can see and all that matters to them is where he's at right now. So my point is that's basically, you know, how a man's or what a man's value is to the world or into women, how they see his value. Then it comes down to stuff like looks and stuff like that. How do you look aesthetically and stuff like that? Obviously, that matters a lot to him too. But when it comes to, you know, in the sense of, a provider and stuff like that, they even call him a provider. They give men labels like provider. I don't even like how that sounds. I don't want to be anybody's provider. I don't want to be a provider. I don't. I don't want to have the label of a provider. There's lots and lots and lots of so-called providers out here that are sorry, that are taken advantage of. They're taken advantage of and they're used. And they come into these relationships and dating situations leading with their wallet and their money. And they think that because they do all these things financially for a woman that somehow is going to buy that woman's loyalty, commitment, and respect. And a lot of times it doesn't. So for me, I don't want to be anybody's provider. If I'm anything, I might be a partner, but I don't want to be any woman's provider. If I have to be her provider, that means that she's not really with me. She's simply just with my resources or provisions. If you are a good provider and you're a man, I would seriously look into the idea of, is this woman just with me because of what I'm doing for her? Or is she with me because of, who I am as a person? Does she really like me? Does she even like me? Or does she like what I'm doing for her? And I'm just saying, it's just something to think about. But back to the main topic, though. And I'm not saying that we as men shouldn't have the ability or the means to provide. I'm not against that. But what I'm against is this idea of men being judged solely off of what they're providing, if they're providing consistently or not. Because my whole argument is, if a woman is with a man simply because he's a good provider, or that's the main reason why she's with him, then my question is, what happens when somebody comes along, has more money, has a nicer car, a bigger house, maybe a more aesthetically attractive face, higher income range than you, and he has the ability to make your life that much better? If the loyalty and commitment was based solely off of what you're providing to her and not her respect for you as a man, then what's keeping her from going off with somebody else that can provide more? That's my question. So, and I look at it like this. If you're a woman and you receive food stamps, EBT, housing assistance, rental assistance, your utilities are being paid for partially or fully by the government or something like that, opposed to a man that everything that he works for and makes, his rent, his car payment, his insurance, his phone bill, grocery bills, utilities, car gas bill, all that stuff comes out of his hard-earned pocket. He doesn't get anybody paying for it for him. He pays for it all himself. So my whole thing is, you know, we're not the same. If you're not paying your own bills at the very least, I don't think any woman can really judge any man when she herself isn't even taking care of her own needs as an adult. You are an adult first. There should be nobody that is paying for you to live, basically. If you're not doing those basic, essential things on your own, by yourself, for yourself, then there's not really much that you can really tell me about, where I am in life, you know, my money, my income, if you haven't at least gotten there yourself. And let's not even talk about if you have kids. If you're not even taking care of your own kids, you're not raising your own kids, at least not 100% of the time, then these types of women need to just really, it's no nice way to say it, be quiet on judging men about, what kind of car they drive, how much money they make, whatever they're working on in their life, whether they reach that goal or not. Like, these women really should not be having nothing to say about, where these men are in their life, because again, at the very basic level, if you're not doing the very basic essential necessities for yourself and your kids, like, what place do you have to say anything, to even open up your mouth about where someone else is or isn't in their life? Everything that they have, all of their accomplishments up to this point, they did that on their own, on their own, on their own strength, with their own work, their own energy. Wasn't nothing given to them. Didn't nobody help them. No government, nothing. If you're not even working to pay your own bills, to buy your own food, your own groceries, shut the fuck up. Because we're not even on the same page as far as maintaining the very basic necessities and then trying to build on top of that. There's men that's maintaining the necessities in their life, and then they're building on top of that, trying to start businesses, trying to grow, trying to learn more, while paying their own bills, paying their own rent, what they're supposed to do. And it takes time. It takes time. It takes failing, learning from those failures, and then learning how to adapt and evolve from those failures. Take the information and data from that, reapply it, and then build from that point forward. But if you're not, at the very least, financing or funding your own life, please shut the fuck up. And I mean this in the most humble, respectful way possible. Even though it doesn't seem like it. Don't talk to me about, how or what I provide or don't provide. Because, not to mention, the men that do provide, very rarely is it even appreciated or even acknowledged. That's another reason why I feel like men don't provide more, because it's not appreciated and it's not acknowledged. It's never appreciated. And there's this thing of entitlement. There's a sense of entitlement from these women of today. Like, oh, well, I deserve it because I really don't know why. Because you don't deserve it. You really don't. But then they're demanding more. So, and these are the kinds of women that really demand and expect so much from men. It's crazy. The women that really have accomplished the least. These same women that are on food stamps and government assistance and housing assistance and you know, don't pay their own bills, kind of sit at home. These are the same women that have so much to say about where you're at in life, but yet you're sitting here doing all the work, getting it out the mud, trying to be creative and grow with basically expanding your income possibilities, or you know, you're trying to think differently and try new things. But they got so much to say about you, about what you've accomplished and what you can and can't do financially right now, and they don't even do the things that you do. It's crazy, man. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. I just had to, you know, speak my mind about that, because I just think it's crazy that a lot of men out here trying to prove themselves to these kinds of women when these women can't even take care of themselves. Anyway, later.